How would you graph the following function? Well, notice that one of the first things that we would do is look at the denominator and ask ourselves, is it possible for the denominator to be zero? And what number would make it equal to zero? So think about it for a second. If we ask if x squared plus 1 could equal to zero, is that possible? Well, if it were true, then we would be able to subtract 1 from both sides, and we would say that there is some number that when you square it, you get a negative 1. And for real numbers, this isn't true. So think about the regular numbers that we know. 2, 3, 4, 5. If we square them, will we end up with a negative number? No, we won't. In fact, even if we looked at it, x squared plus 1, anything we square has to be a positive number. And if we add 1 to that, it's still a positive number. There's no way that this can equal 0. So what that means is that we won't have a vertical asymptote. Is there a horizontal asymptote? Well, what's the degree up here? There's no x, so we know that the degree is 0. What's the degree down here of the leading term? Well, the degree is 2. So where is it larger? It's larger in the denominator. So since it's bigger on the bottom, then we know that y equals 0 will be our horizontal asymptote. So we know for sure we have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. There is no vertical asymptote. We just figured that out because it's impossible to get the denominator to equal to 0. What about our x-intercept? Is it possible to make this whole function equal 0? In other words, is it possible to make this numerator equal 0? No. So for our x-intercept, we know that there's none. What about our y-intercept? Remember that for our y-intercept, we're going to set x equal to 0. So if we set x equal to 0, we'll have 1 over 0 squared plus 1. 0 squared is 0, so what we would have here is 1 over 0 plus 1. And if we simplify even further, we have 1 over 1, or just 1. So our y-intercept will be 0, 1. So let's say that we were to plot based on this information. We know that our y-intercept is going to be at 1, at 0, 1. We know that our horizontal asymptote is going to be the line y equals 0. So that's our x-axis. This is the line y equals 0. We know that it won't cross the horizontal asymptote because we already figured out that there is no x-intercept. It will not touch the x-axis. So let's put our graph together. Remember that our horizontal asymptote represents our end behavior for a rational function, basically as we go out to infinity. So as we follow our function towards infinity, then we're going to get closer and closer to 0, since that's our horizontal asymptote. And then similarly on the other side, we're also going to approach 0 because again, that's our horizontal asymptote. So this is roughly what our graph should look like.